What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the third episode of the Fusion Podcast. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share this video, as today we're going to cover how we define success and how do you define success. But before we get into that, we just kind of want to talk about our week. So Robert, what's been going on, my guy?
Man, if we're talking about last week and this week, it's been good. Obviously, work's been a little bit hectic because rates are going up. You both know it's a tough market. Not a lot of houses up on the market that are staying for more than 3 or 4 days. So a lot of buyers that can't get under contract. But for the most part, it's all good. We're having a good time. Good energy here at the office. I got one appraisal this week. Because today's killing me, bro. They want $750 for a month to do their appraisal. Appraisals come back in usually 2 weeks, and they want a month. They usually cost $650, and they want an extra $100. It makes no sense.
Why though?
I think the location. It's up in Pensacola.
Nobody lives out there.
Yeah, I guess so. They ain't got no appraisers out there, I guess.
Also, you're using your appraiser from not here to go.
No. I'm using someone from up there, but I don't know what it is.
Nobody wants to appraise the house.
5 people before this guy all declined the order. So yeah, no one wants it.
I don't know. It's weird.
But other than that, the week's been all right. I've been hanging in there. Everything's good. The mortgage industry is still there, so I'm happy as could be.
What about you? What about you, bro?
Same thing. This week has been last week it was pretty much just like homework because I'm supposed to be graduating this May. So I'm just trying to pound that, finish that up. And real estate's been there too. Most of my people are trying to buy in the next, they're quote unquote warm leads because they're not buying right now. But they're going to be buying supposedly by summer or there when shit, gets hotter. But at least for right now, that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah,
same. My buyers too, a little bit backing off. I know, some of my buyers are backing off just because rates right now are just kind of messing with affordability and things like that.
Absolutely.
But, last week was pretty dope, man. Celebrated a birthday. Didn't do much. Right now, real estate is just hot on the real estate side. But that's pretty much it for me, man. But, so how do you define success? For me personally, I define success as just how happy you are in the mind. I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but I think success is something that you create in yourself, not the external world. I think recently, especially with social media, but even old ways of thinking, old ways of doing business, if you were going to be successful, you had to do something outside to validate your success. But I think a lot of people are becoming more aware of the fact that if you're happy and you're content with what you're doing, I think that in of itself is successful. What do you guys think?
I agree with you. The only thing I want to ask is, do you feel like then it's more of the happiness or success is a mindset rather than a tangible thing?
It's more of a mindset. I was literally listening to Dr. Joe the other day, and he was talking about the unconscious mind and how 80% of the thoughts that you think today are the same thoughts that you had yesterday. Think about that.
That's crazy.
80% of the thoughts that you had today were the same thoughts that you had yesterday. So almost 80% of the time that you're awake, you're living in the past. You get me?
Yeah.
So
that's a trip.
Yeah. So he said that your unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between an emotion that you're getting from the outside and an emotion that you create within your own mind. So if you create an emotion in your mind to believe that you're successful, you're going to feel successful, right? So, and then you're going to start acting successful. So I think it literally is just a mindset. It's literally just about how you think about your situation and how you go about things. Because you could, if you see people online, making tons of money, but they can be miserable.
That's right.
You could be making millions of dollars, but still live a terrible life. And do you think other people would consider that successful if they knew that you weren't really doing the best on the inside? So
yeah. No, I completely agree. I feel like success is a personal, it's a one-on-one thing. Your success is going to be dependent on how you want to live your life, how you feel happy.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, it comes down to the mindset of, if I believe I'm successful, I am successful. No one else can tell me if I'm not successful, except for me. So then it's you versus you only. Really, that's how it is. So I definitely think that success personally is me being happy, living with a family that I can care for and provide for, and also that they're all able to have their own happiness, an abundance of happiness. Like that to me is success.
Yeah.
My own version. You know what I mean? What about
Well,
you?
yeah. So I guess it goes down to because success, right? Success is winning at something. So I guess it comes down to what do you care to win at, right? So do you care to win at having a good, family? Do you care at winning at having a good house? Like all those things. Another thing that I want to say about what you were saying about Joe Dispenza, right? That's what you're talking about. So that's a huge thing because like all the time you'll see people, they'll say like, people who've made it, quote unquote.
Yeah.
They'll say, I put myself there first. Like they put themselves where they were, where they wanted to be and felt all those emotions. And because of that, that's why I feel like it makes so much sense why, your thoughts today are 80% of what they were yesterday. It makes complete sense. And that's why I think it's so powerful to already put yourself in that mindset of, oh, when I'm successful, these are the things I'm going to be doing. This is how my mindset is going to be. And that's also the other thing too, right? Like if you're not grateful for what you have now, when you're rich or when you have money or whatever, you're just a heightened version of what you are now. Like not much changes. Like that's the thing about money too. Money just makes you more of who you are today. So if you change who you are today, that changes who you are in the future rather than just chasing that money because you're just going to be the same person and you won't be grateful. But I agree with like the whole success thing. Like I said, it just comes down to a choice in your head, do you think you're successful or in life or do you not? And it also comes down to what things you want to be winning in life in, right? So like for me personally, I view success, my main mission in life is just to help as many people as I can.
Yeah.
And that's like, and there's no category to that too. Like I'm talking about like whether that's in real estate, whether that's some guy in the street and I give him $5, whether that's connecting you to him or you to somebody else to help you progress in your career or whatever it is. That's how I view success. I want to be able to help as many people as I can in my life, right? And then obviously too, I mean, I have a big legacy factor. I want to have some sort of
you want
legacy.
to be able to leave something like
I want to have some sort of like legacy. And that too, I mean, that begs the question, who do I want remembering me? My family, people, like it all just depends. Cause I mean, I could leave a legacy in my family. I could be the one that helped them out of, I could be the one that helped, like, for example, my cousins and like my kids and like my grandkids out of the financial, I guess, illiteracy that my family has, grown up in, right? And that could be my legacy, right? But that legacy stays within the family. I want to have a legacy that's kind of like,
more
I don't know, like you're
impacts other people.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're only here once. Like I want to have like a Mike Tyson like legacy. Like you hear Mike Tyson, you know who he is, what he did, his attitude, all that. So that's kind of how I am with success. But like I said, I feel like it all comes down to, back to what Rob said. Like it's up to you, right? Like you can't tell me I'm successful, and I mean you can, right? But it's up to me to believe it or to not believe it.
I think that's the key. I think that's the key.
How you react to the things around you, like how you react to other people telling you things. The reaction inside yourself is what you're telling you how you want to be viewed as you. I know I just said you 3 times, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, no, 100%.
That's really the version of yourself that you want to be is who you are putting out there, not what someone else is telling you are.
Yeah, man. And
it's an effort every single day.
I was literally on one of those podcasts of Dr. Joe. He was literally talking about how they did a study on people, and whenever a problem came about, right, he would measure the brainwaves of the people who saw that issue as a problem, and then he matched it up to people who would look at that same problem as a challenge, right? And he said that the energy of those people were completely different. So it literally just shows that like the way that you look at it, the way you perceive a problem or a challenge, right? Because when you have a problem, you're kind of already giving it a negative connotation, 100%. Whereas like, this is going to be an issue to get over or an issue to get through. But if you sign something as a challenge, you think you can get over it. You just going to need to do a little bit of work. But the mindset itself is already different. And I think that that's why the energy itself changes. So it's literally like you were saying, like both of you guys were saying, the mindset that you have and the way that you're perceiving things, the way that you are reacting to the things is going to change the way that you go about it and the way that you like take that step forward into the problem or challenge.
That goes into like the power of words, right? Like if you tell yourself like I am blank, or like how you said a problem versus a challenge, because it's true. As soon as you said problem, I thought like, dang, this is the problem, right? My tone, dang, this is a problem. Or instead of saying, oh wow, that's a challenge, right? Now it's
the connotation is
it's
you can
way,
feel
it's
it.
way different.
You can feel it.
That's an emotion attached to the word already. Words are like, I know Dr. Joe talks about this spelling, right?
Yes.
While you're talking, like you're literally casting spells. You're putting things into existence with your words. So you have to choose what you say wisely. And it's because the connotation behind words has, like, you have an emotion to things. You have an emotion when you say problem compared to challenge. And the emotion that's a more, like, a better one, or what I would consider a heightened emotion, is the challenge rather than problem. Because you have that negative connotation to the word problem.
Right.
I know I also try to incorporate this, like, in my life. I've been doing it recently where if you have fear or doubt or you're scared about something, considering that emotion as excitement, right? I'm excited. Like this, all these, like, for example, right, this podcast. We've been trying to put this together for a long time.
Word.
And social media may not be my strong suit, y'all's strong suit, whatever it is, right? Being on camera is nerve-wracking. So instead of being afraid of it, right, it's not fear that's there. It's the excitement of what could be after the video is done.
Right.
That's, if you look at it that way, like, I feel like you're so much more grateful and happy with the decisions you're making and with the way that you're progressing. You know what I mean?
Straight up. Man, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. I've been trying to get this man, Robert, to get on social media and make some content. I don't even know how long it's been, but shit.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I know. I'm trying to get more comfortable.
And it's paying off, by the way.
It is. I'm getting leads.
It's paying off, by the way.
Talking to me, more views. So I'm loving it. I think social media is a great tool and asset to use, as long as you look at it in a positive mindset. Because there's a lot of negative that happens with social media and with, like, technology in general. So if you're looking at it in that negative way, like, it can come at you in that same way, rather than looking at it as, how can I use this to help others? Like you said, unconditionally help others. And then it'll come back to me with, like, I'm just grateful I'm helping others, and it's going to come back.
Exactly. Because that's the thing. You can't help others with the motive that they're going to one day help you back. You have to help others with the motive that it's going to return back to you. Could be from them, could be from someone else, but it's just going to come back eventually. Yeah. Right. And that's the thing. A lot of people, they're like, oh, like, I did this weekend. Like, I gave a homeless guy $5, and they're like,
the karma, the good karma.
Yeah, like it don't work, especially if you're doing it because of that, rather than, like, because that's the thing.
Just
like,
out of the goodness of your heart.
That's what I'm saying. Because I always keep changing on me. So, like, if I do see a homeless person, I'll give them, whatever I have. It's not that I've gave them all I've had in my wallet, because I don't be care to cash. So normally whatever is in my wallet, I just give it to them, right? But I don't do it because I expect something from, just from that interaction. I do it genuinely because I know that I'm in a position where I can help that person out. And then eventually it pays back eventually, just like everything else. Yeah. But then I guess the next question, were y'all done with that question?
No, yeah.
I wanted to ask, how do you become successful then? Like, we talked about, I guess, kind of what do you define success, but how do you get there?
I would say, bro, figuring out what is limiting you. Because that is a scary place. And the unknown is, I literally hear Dr. Drop. I'm referencing him just because I've been listening to him.
No, he's dope, though.
He's legit.
If you guys haven't yet, like, we can put a little link in the comments. Dr. Joe Dispenza is who we're talking about. He's a neuroscientist. Yeah, he's got books, videos, audiobooks, like,
search him up on TikTok.
Very enlightened man that spreads some very good knowledge.
One day we're gonna have him on this podcast.
Yo, say that. We manifesting that
we gonna
right
have
now.
This. We gonna have him on this podcast. He's gonna be sitting right here.
We manifesting that right now. But yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought.
You were talking about
getting over your limits. Like,
yeah. It's like the unknown is a scary place, and for you to be successful, I think, like, there's that anxiety that you get from, for example, like, wanting to be on camera. Like, I had the same thing too, but figuring out where is that fear coming from? Because although you might not be able to dissect it, asking the question itself is powerful because it gives you the space. It creates that possibility that you can find out what it is that maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's literally you just been in your head the whole time, just for you to get over that hump to then make that next step, make a couple of videos, then you feel more comfortable. People are seeing your shit. When you make content, how your sister got like over 30,000 followers on TikTok. You know what I mean? And she's doing something that she loves, So getting over it, what you feel is limiting you, I think is important because you need to be able to analyze that and say, okay, I accept that I'm scared, or I'm accept that I'm anxious about this, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I know that it's gonna be beneficial for me. I know that it will help me be successful. So I think it's literally about taking out some of those blockages that maybe you don't want to think about just because it might be a hard conversation with yourself. But sometimes those need to be had just so that you can kind of get past and really take that step of what you really want to do.
That's huge.
Yeah, no, I think that goes hand in hand with, we've been talking about it so much right now that I almost forgot. In the very first video that we did for the podcast, right? We said that you have to ask yourself what it is that you want. What is it that you're looking for happiness-wise or success-wise? And then follow the opportunities that lead to that success that you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
And by getting rid of those blockages and asking yourself, having those hard conversations of, why do I feel this way? Why am I feeling this emotion? And then putting a more positive look on it, like I am. The I am is huge. By the way. I am.
Most powerful statement ever.
Can be anything and everything, right? And with I am, that verbiage right there allows you to kind of open up your mind to that. And I think by figuring out what it is that you want personally as success or happiness will determine your road to success.
It's facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to that, because I did when I did that thing where I went to my old school and I was talking to like, you know, people, you know, they were like juniors and seniors.
Younger kids, yeah.
A very big thing was like they were trying to question or trying to find out what their passion was, and that was something that I had to like think about. Cause I was like, I mean, I don't know, like how do you find your passion, right? But you know, through listening to some podcasts and I guess kind of just like really thinking, I feel like a really big thing that we are, especially our generation, is missing out right now is we don't think for ourselves, and we kind of just like so a big thing that's been on my mind recently is like social media just in general, right? There'll be times where you just scroll, especially TikTok, bro.
Yeah,
just scroll and scroll
Like
and
mindless
scroll.
scrolling type of thing.
Mindless scrolling type of thing, right? And people think of that and they think of it as a break, right? They'll go on their phone and they'll go on TikTok and that's a break for them. But it's not really a break though, because your brain is still moving.
Working
your
on
eyes are moving. You know, you're processing what you're seeing type thing. It might be a break compared to what you're doing. Like it might be
Like
activity, like brain
or
activity
something.
wise, you might be using your brain a little bit less than what you're doing, and you might be enjoying it because of the dopamine in it. But it's like, you know, but a big thing is like just thinking for yourself, like having time for yourself to just think, right? And it goes back to like finding your passion. So think about what your values are. Think about what your beliefs are. Think about what matters to you. Think about what you don't like. Think about what you do like. Think about what you care about. Think about what you want other people to know you, you know, by or as, right? So I think that's a really huge one for me, because lately I've had a lot of time for myself to really think of those things. And because I feel like now I have so much of a greater connection with like my passion, like my purpose, because it's more clear. Now I could see it without all that mind fog of social media or you know, wanting to do things because other people are doing it, right? 'Cause that's a big thing too.
Yeah.
You'll talk to a lot of people, right? And it almost seems like everyone's the same in a sense, where they all want to do the same thing because of X, right? They want to do this because it has good money in it. Or they want to try drop shipping. Or they want to do real estate because there's money in it,
Because
right?
they see someone else be successful or do something that they
Exactly. And it goes back to what we said the first episode.
You said that, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like you could look at somebody on social media, 18, 19, older than you, younger than you, you know, they look better than you, they don't look better, whatever it is. You could look at them and you could feel some type of way about yourself. You're like, dang, they're doing this, you know, but I'm not, right? So it almost limits you because you're like, oh wow, like he has more opportunities than me, or you start giving yourself those bullshit excuses of like why they're doing it and you're not, right? So that's why, you know, going back to like with my sister, for example, when she made her thing, she didn't know where it was gonna go at all. Like
That's what I'm saying.
She had no idea.
It's unknown, bro. It's the unknown.
But you have to take the mindset and have that choice of looking at it as a challenge or looking at it simply because you know that it'll be, I guess, you know, enjoy the process, like it'll be fun, rather than, oh, if I don't get, you know, this by this, then it's like, you know, I'm a quit it. Because I doubt there was ever a moment that she was thinking she was gonna quit it, right? And then it goes back to like the whole social media thing. She was posting like 4, you know, TikToks a day type thing, like
That's what I mean.
every single day.
And it takes that though too, because like, for example, people that want to get started, I know a lot of people that want to get started on TikTok and stuff like that. And it's like, that stuff is like free, you know, it's free promotion.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it's scary getting online too, you know? But that's where the whole limiting belief thing comes in, where it's like people are online and then they want to do the real estate or whatever. They want to do the drop shipping that they see on TikTok or on Instagram or something, right? But then it's like, why don't you take that step? Because then there's that level of fear or the belief that it's external from you. Dr. Joe talked about this too. Dr. Joe talks about that too, where if you feel like the experience or whatever it is that you're looking for is apart from you, you already lost, because you don't feel that you're a part of it. You get me?
100%.
So your mindset is already like, I'm not there. But if you, like you were talking about earlier, if you put yourself there, and if you believe that you're there and you feel the emotions that being there is like what being there will be like, you're going to start acting that way, because the way that you think and the way that you feel creates your state of being.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
100%.
You're literally going to start walking the walk instead of talking the talk. And it's going to be a lot more introspective instead of like outward. You're going to start seeing the work done to yourself. You're going to see the discipline and stuff like that come through as you work on yourself like that.
Yeah. And I feel like everything that we're saying today, like both of those, all of this has to do with you, right? You personally. And that comes down to having those conversations with yourself of what it is you want. Why do I want this? How is this? Who am I? Right? And those aren't easy conversations. But at the end of the day, when we get to know people, those are the questions we're asking them so that you can get to know them better.
Right.
So why not take the time to ask those questions to the person that you're with every single day, which is you. Day in and day out, from the day you're born to the day you pass, you will always be with you. So why not take a little bit of extra time every day? Don't have to be like, I'm going to figure out myself this week. No, bro. Take the time, like, allow yourself the flexibility and time to continue to learn yourself and be grateful. I think gratitude has a huge role in all of this, that if you're grateful for the situation you're in, if you're grateful for the opportunity you've been given, no matter what it is, right? Or you're grateful for the chance to still be here today, to have these opportunities, right? Then you look at life so much better and with a wider scope of what I would consider happiness to me. And it makes you feel so much more whole. Like you have that emotion every day where you're happy to get up. You're happy to live your life. You're happy to be with your friends, with your family. And most importantly, you are happy to be with yourself. Yeah. You are happy in yourself and the progress you are making to become who you want to be. If you're putting a shadow or a cover over talking to yourself and being with you, and you're not forming that bond with you, then I think you're going to live what I would personally consider not a very happy life. Like I wouldn't feel happy not being able to talk to myself, not being able to find out more about me, and then enjoying the journey along with it.
I think gratitude is huge, bro. Huge. Like, I hate that I keep going back to Dr. Joe just because I've been watching his podcast.
No, because he's dope. He's a dope.
But he literally did a study that for, I think it was like 4 or 5 days in a row, people would practice, I think it was 10 or 15 minutes out of their day to be grateful. Just literally 10 to 15 minutes a day. And then the control group of the people of the experiment, right? So it's the control group who didn't do that. And then the group of people who did do the grateful, I think it was just grateful meditations for 10, 15 minutes. The immune system of the people who were just grateful for 10 to 15 minutes boosted. Can you believe that? So your immune system literally got better just because you were grateful for 10 minutes a day. So it just goes to show that, like, what else can being grateful do? You know, you literally get healthier by being grateful. So it's like, that just kind of shows you that in your actual body, you'll get healthier. So what does that do for your mind? You know?
It should be a motto, like, be grateful, be healthy or something.
Yeah, straight up.
Be grateful, be healthy.
We're going to have to put that in there.
I got a question for both of you, right? Now, I know you do this more. We've practiced it before. But my question for you really is, when it comes to finding more about yourself, do you do that just through normal time, like that you spend alone? Do you meditate? Do you find it, like, I know when I used to run a lot, that was my time to almost meditate. Like, I felt so connected with that inner voice. How do you find that time to ask yourself those hard questions and find out more about you?
I mean, so finding the time, there's always a time to do it. Like that's a big one too. We'll get into time management, another one. That's a huge one. Yeah. But everybody has the time to do it. But you hit on a nail. A lot of times, like something I did fairly recently, where I started doing was I'd go on runs like in the morning. Mm-hmm. So I'd run in the morning, work out at night. When I'm working out at night, it's more of like I go to a gym where there's a lot of people, so it's more of like a social business move, right? Like I'm going there because I want to make connections with people.
Put face out.
Yeah, put face out. Yeah. And it's also a good gym, you know? But, you know, there it's kind of hard to focus and have time for myself. And plus you're focused on working out. So the run in the morning is where I've really been more like, you know, I guess, you know, thinking those things. And then besides that, I don't know, sometimes like coming back from the gym, I'll just lay in my bed and I'll just sit there just staring at the roof, bro. Just like, or at the ceiling, I mean. And I just sit there just staring, and that'll be my time to think. Normally I'll read a book right before I go to sleep. But most of the time I'll do that right before I read my book, because the book puts me out. Like I read the book, I read 2-3 pages and I'm gone. So I'll normally think of that. And the thing is, you don't have to set a time limit on it. Like it could be 2 minutes, but those 2 minutes could be, you know,
they add up.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I'm sure you guys know like how you know how you start your day is how that day will go. But I truly believe too, how you end the last day is how the next day will go as well. If you end the last day, like for example, drunk, like if you get drunk today and you go to sleep tomorrow, you're gonna be hungover. Mm-hmm. Obviously, how you left today, tomorrow you're gonna be hungover. So I feel like it's the same thing. If before I go to sleep, I have you know, a sense of gratitude and I have that thought in my head of, you know, kind of assessing my day really, and kind of just thinking like, okay, what did I like about today? What didn't I like about today? What did I enjoy doing? You know, what am I grateful for? What did I wish happened differently? How can I fix this tomorrow? Once I end on that note, then in the morning, I pick right back up on what I left yesterday. And I start thinking, okay, I said this last night. Now, how am I going to change it today? And then that goes back to another question I wanted to ask y'all really quickly on, because I feel like I'm a type of person where I'm like a blueprint type of guy. I want a blueprint. You tell me what to do and I'll do it, right? So I'm sure some people out there would appreciate this. But so in these next like 30 days, what could somebody do to become more successful in whatever they want to do? Like what if you're trying to succeed at a goal, what are your action steps to get there? If that makes sense.
So some of the things that I would suggest, right? If you've got 30 days, start out by writing what it is that you want, what that goal is, right? Pen and paper, like legitimately write it out and write your goal out. Now underneath that, you're going to create
action steps.
Yes. What needs to be done in order to achieve this? What do I need to do in order to get to my goal? Okay. Those things need to be met. You can have a goal, but a goal can't just be met. There are things in place that have to be done in order to get there. So you have to put those action steps in and write them down. The other thing I would suggest is visualizing yourself doing those action steps.
Okay? That is huge.
The visualization up here, even if, but like you said, at night before you go to bed, during the day, while you're doing them, like visualizing you achieving these action steps will help you reach that goal so much faster. And the last thing I would say is get some sort of physical fitness in your day, or at least in your week, because I think that if your mind is healthy, hold on, let me back up. If your body is healthy, it helps create a healthier mind. 100%. And vice versa. If you have a healthy mind, you can also create a healthier body. But you need both of them in balance. So 100%. Creating some sort of physical
discipline
or physical discipline, some sort of workout, or you don't have to be working out. Like you can literally go
do yoga.
Yeah, whatever.
Running. Like dogs. Like do anything that gets you physically active 100%. So that you can just have a better emotion and feeling while doing all those action steps. That's what I was saying.
Something I would add to that question is write down, as you're writing these things down, write down how you're gonna feel.
That's huge.
When you get to this place, like when you get to where it is that you want to be successful, write down how you're going to feel and focus on that. Focus on what you write down of how you're going to feel, and then feel it so that you can start drawing that towards you instead of you looking for it on the outside.
That's facts. No, but I mean, to go back to what both of they said. So with the whole feeling thing, feelings are huge. Your emotions are what drive you, right? Like, you know, whenever most people, they either react or are moved by things either through pain or by pleasure. You know, that's the way people are motivated to do things, whether they think so or not. So like a big, you know, in my life, there's been a lot of points where I've gone through some pain, but that pain turned into a power because I attached emotion to it and it helped fuel everything else I was doing. So attaching emotions to everything, that's key. And another thing that you said is the whole visualize thing, right? So I forgot where I saw this or where I read this or where I heard this, but it was basically a study someone did, probably Joe Dispenza. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a study somebody did where they were like, I forgot what they were doing, but they were having people, they had a control group visualize them doing that certain action, and a control. I think it was free throws actually. I think they were doing free throws, right? They had one control group visualize doing the free throws and then also practicing. Let's say 20 minutes, right? And same for the other group. The other group practiced 20 minutes, except they didn't visualize them shooting, from the free throw line, right? And after, let's say, a week or however much time passed, the people who visualized doing the action, I forgot what the percentage was, but it was crazy. Like, it was crazy. Like, they made the shot a certain amount percentage way more than the other people, all just by visualizing. They practiced the same amount. Obviously, it was a random sample. So, like, some people were taller, some people were shorter, some were girls, some were guys. So, it was pretty balanced in that sense. But just visualizing, making that free throw was what made the difference, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It just goes to show you how hard the brain works and how much the brain does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I think that both of those two things, like the emotion you feel during it or by completing it, and the visualization of it, kind of go together.
It's like a formula.
Exactly, because when you visualize it, you're also visualizing the physical emotion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And it's easier to label how you're going to feel when you complete or do whatever it is you're visualizing. So I think that visualizing is very key. The emotion behind it and how you feel while completing it is key, and they kind of go right together. If you visualize it, you can also have a little bit easier time to find that emotion that you're going to feel and link them together. And that's a strong way to manifest and bring that outcome to you. Because you're bringing it to you. You're not going after it. You're creating it and bringing it to you.
It's literally just like a magnet, bro.
Like,
Yeah.
Literally just like a magnet. Like, you feel that emotion and you bring that emotion. I think I said in the other.
Probably.
It's the energy, bro. It's the energy. It's literally the energy that you create. Yeah. When you create that energy, you're just going to attract it to you.
Yeah. But just quickly, just to answer my own question, I think the fastest way to get to where you want is just by breaking it down. Literally everything y'all both said, right? But by breaking it down and just trying to get better, get better than you were yesterday every day. So whatever, even if it's 1%, right? By that 30th day, you're gonna be 30 times better than you were when you first started, right? So that would probably be my biggest tip, because a lot of people, they get in their head, but the thing is, they want results like that. Yeah, instant gratification. They want to be able to just do something today and reap the benefits tomorrow. It does not work like that. Does not work like that. If it was like that, everybody would have money. Everybody would be chilling, vacation and stuff like that. But no, I think it's about breaking those down and just focus on getting better every single day, right? And obviously, like let's say you want to be on track a little bit faster than other people. Then okay, practice being 2% better every day then instead of 1 or 5% better, whatever it is. But I'd probably say that'd be my biggest tip, because I was like breaking down goals. Like when I was getting my license, right? I was taking a course, and what I did, I said, I'm gonna do 1% a day. And the course, to finish it, it's 100%, right? So in 100 days, I finished the course just because I did 1% a day. That's the way I did it, and I feel like that's probably the easiest way to get there.
You don't overstress yourself by doing that,
Exactly. And I think something else that, and I know you talked about this in the other videos, we talked about a little today, is that you have as much time as you need, man.
Bro, you got time.
And most importantly, the only reason that you rush the process is 2 options, right? Is because you want that gratification sooner, or 2, there's an external factor that's making you feel like you need to do it faster. Okay? Someone else, something else, pushing you, telling you that you need to be here. You don't need to be anywhere except for where you want to be. All right? So take your time, find out what it is that you want, set in those action steps to get there, and understand that
it's not going to happen.
The process, it will not happen overnight. It is a long process, and honestly, it's for your entire life, in my opinion. Like, you're always 100%. Going to be going for something. Enjoy that process and allow yourself the freedom to feel okay with taking as much time as you need. Yes,
please be patient. Yes. Patience is a virtue, and it's going to get you through everything you need.
Facts. Yeah, there was this is the last thing I want to say.
No, you're good, dog.
To end it off, there was a podcast I was listening to. It's called The School of Greatness, and what this guy was talking about, he was like all of us, right? This has never happened. Like, I've never been alive at this moment right? So you can't always do or listen to what other people have done, because same for them. They're one of one in this exact time, right? So even though people might be giving you, and a perfect example is like those external factors. You might have some pressure from your parents, some pressure from somebody, or just the social pressure of, if I'm gonna do something, I have to be successful, not to be successful like this. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. Gary Vee preaches about that too. You're a big Gary Vee fan, so he has all those videos of him like working at like the wine shop and shit. But it's like you simply just can't think like that, because it's not the way it works.
The thing is that you're giving yourself expectation, and when you give yourself expectations, like so much expectations, you set yourself up to fail, because if you don't reach that expectation, then you feel like you didn't make it. But then if you set like realistic goals, small goals, and even if you don't reach those goals, you feel okay with the fact that you're not at 100, then you're gonna start feeling a lot better about the progress that you're actually making over time.
100%. Yeah.
But hey, man, that's all we got for this episode. If you haven't already, please be sure to like, subscribe, follow all those channels, all of our socials. Be on that. We're on that. If you guys have any comments, questions, please leave them below. We'll be happy to get to them in our next episode. And that's, Fusion's out.
Fusion out.
Dunder Mifflin.
Yo, every time you would talk, I would look this way so I could make you look that way.
I know. Thank you.
Because you kept staring. I was like, oh. But then every time I did it, you looked, so you did good.